Good evening. It's 5:30, maybe a little bit after, on Wednesday, October 22nd.
Is exact.
This is a special meeting for the Harpswell Planning Board. We only have one item on the agenda. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask our Vice Chair if he would lead us in the pledge.
All righty. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was going to go grab my pen. I left it.
Okay.
All right, we do have a quorum. I'd like to ask everybody to vote tonight, and let's start by introducing board members, beginning with Courtney.
Courtney Snellings.
Lori Rice.
Amy Heibel.
Dan Hobeck.
Christine Donovan Hall. And Margaret will be here in just a minute.
Sorry, I was on search for a pen. Margaret McIntyre, the town planner.
All right. We have no old business on the agenda, so let's start with new business, item 251003. This is the town's application for itself to rebuild the town-owned community dock on Potts Point that was destroyed in the January 2024 storm. I'd like to ask the town planner to describe the project for us, and then we'll see what happens after that.
So this dock was obviously destroyed in the January 2024 storms. Part of the project is to be able to utilize some FEMA funding to make the dock more resilient.
She's got to find it.
To do that, they're going to make it 2 feet wider, so from 4 feet to 6 feet wide, which is the maximum allowed for a community dock by ordinance. And they're also going to make it between 2 and 3 feet taller. And because they're making it taller, they need to extend the access, both the ramp on the water side and the dock access on the shore side.
Thank you. All right, so let's see. What I'm going to do first is ask the not the applicant, but the applicant's representative to explain the project. Then we'll hear from members of the public and the planning board if there are any questions or comments.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Waddle with Flycatcher. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, the town of Harpswell, seeking planning board approval for the replacement and expansion of the Potts Point Community Wharf off Harpswell Neck Road. And as Margaret just described and we kind of touched on at the site visit, the wharf was destroyed in the January 2024 storms, and the applicant proposes to replace the wharf, incorporating some updates, modifications that will make the structure more resilient. Like we discussed, raising the pier, increasing the width of the pier. Due to the pier being elevated, the seasonal ramp will increase, as well as be adding a pier extension back into the upland. There will also be an additional finger float to increase the functionality of the community wharf, and all these things would make the wharf more resilient for future storms. The applicant proposes to reuse the existing timber and rock crib bases and maintain the same exact footprint of the previous wharf, which will reduce the impacts to the coastal wetland overall.
I do have one question for you. When we were down there just now, I only saw two cribs. Oh, maybe 3.
There's 4.
3, but there's supposed to be 4, but I only saw 3.
So there's, I have some photos too. Actually, there's photos in the showing 4 that are timber rock, and there's actually 1. There's 5, but 1 is just rock.
All right.
I had the same question.
Yeah, I was just trying to count them up.
Before, yep, the picture shows them.
Yeah, it depends on the tide too. So.
That's pretty low.
Okay.
Oh, I see the
Thank you,
picture now.
Kelly. Does the board have any questions of Kelly?
this last one lower than that one, so I
yeah.
didn't see this one.
The only question I had was that the application refers to some eelgrass. So I was wondering, is that something that we should be concerned about?
So we actually did an eelgrass survey in May of 2025, Tim Forrester and I, and we found about 5 isolated patches that were adjacent to areas of ledge and rockweed, and they were pretty, like, well outside of the location of the proposed structures, so. And that report, if it's not included in the application, I can submit that separately.
That was the only thing. I know that's something we try to avoid. I
Yeah.
didn't know whether, because it was going to be longer, or whether now it was going to be interfering with the eelgrass.
Right.
Yeah. Page 3 of 9. Small eelgrass beds are present near the terminus of the proposed pier. So I'm just asking the rest of the board for that also, since eelgrass is something we,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
I just wanted to just clarify that you were going to essentially be using the same cribbing. Are you going to be bringing in any more stones, or are you going to use what's already there?
I know we're using what's there. I believe the plan is to raise those and repair the timber frames as needed. I'll have to look at the more detailed plan. I believe it's sheet 3. Shows additional crib stones will be brought in and installed as needed.
Okay. And brought in via the water?
That, I'll have to double check with the contractor if I can't find it in here, but that would be my guess,
Okay.
by barge.
Thank you. Anybody else?
No.
Kelly, thank you very much.
No problem, thank you.
Appreciate it.
It's not like they'd have to clear vegetation to get the stone in either way, though,
No.
you know? Just, you can drive just right, almost up to the bank.
Yep. Right. All right, any members of the public wish to contribute to the discussion? Yes, sir. When you get up, please state your name and,
And we've got somebody online, too.
okay, we have someone online. So when we vote, we'll have to vote verbally. All right.
Michael Dana, Potts Point. There are 6 chains that anchor the floats, and 2 of them go off the float, front of the float into the water. Curious how those will lay, because they appear from the drawings that they may reduce the draft alongside that front of the pier, front of the dock.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, John Lloyd, South Harpswell. So, just a question on the core permitting and the DEP permitting. Where are we on that?
I believe we've received both permits.
Pardon me?
We've received both.
Oh, you have. So you're good to go. So then, that being said, assuming that you make an appropriate recommendation, when would construction, in a perfect world, when would
I think it would
construction
be, I think the goal is to have it completed by next May.
begin? So,
Yeah, so that it would be in use for next season.
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Do you want to speak, Kelly, do you want to speak to the anchor chains? They're on the plan there.
Yeah, is this the plan that you were referring to? Yeah. So, sorry, can you just point to it?
These 2 chains coming up front, if they're extended out, it's going to create a lack of
How
draft.
drink deep is this water, do you know?
I think it gets kind of deep.
Was that an issue before?
I don't believe we had anchor chains like that before.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Crisscross.
Right.
So that
we had
would be
these,
coming out.
back, and there may have been something off the end. but-
Mary Ann wants you to have the conversation at the
Yeah,
microphone.
she does. The public wants to know what you're talking about.
So the discussion is about the seaward anchor chains and whether or not they're going to be a hazard to navigation or to docking at the float.
That's correct, yeah.
I'll have to check, like you said, if they weren't like this before. My guess is that they would not cause an issue, and this is a common way to put the chains, but I can
Yeah.
confirm with the contractor.
The only concern I have is if this were to be blown by the wind one way or the other, if there's any leeway in any of the chains, these will tighten. And if there's a boat alongside here, it could tighten underneath the boat.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you.
So are we talking about these 2 points right here?
Yeah, coming out, this one.
Yeah. We're talking about these 2?
Or
And
the ones-
that one is existing conditions,
Oh.
and it
Probably
doesn't.
So it's
all
on
of
your
them,
big
right?
plan there. That one.
These too, right?
These are the same
It was
ones.
these, that was the concern.
Okay.
I thought
Ones in
Amy
the
was
north
looking over
ones,
here.
or
And they
the-
said those are existing ones,
Ha, ha, ha.
Okay,
but these are new.
Mhm.
all right. I think I
At least that's what I
get
heard.
it.
Yeah.
So I can look into that and provide an answer.
Okay, I'm just trying to think about how we might make something like that a condition of approval.
Yeah, we could do that. Can I see
Okay.
your draft motions? I didn't grab myself a copy,
Yep.
obviously.
Yep.
Let's see. Books per section.
We have someone who is on Zoom, and I want to give whoever's on Zoom the opportunity to ask a question or make a comment if she wants to.
Thank you. No comments from me.
Okay, thank you very much.
You know, the ordinance, neither of the sections that you guys are going to review tonight really touch on that sort of thing. So we could make it a condition that that flycatcher, I don't know, it further analyzes the,
And make sure it's not going to be a hazard.
Yeah.
A hazard to
yeah.
navigation or something.
yeah, they assess the
The
practicality of the anchor design or something.
Well, it depends on what kind of draft you're talking about,
Yeah, how deep?
I think, as well. I mean, how much draft are we looking for here?
Well, it's it for sailboats or any boat.
Yeah.
Is this
I mean, that does make a difference if we're putting it in the conditions.
Yeah, if sailboats, may need, one of our neighbors has a sailboat that drafts 7 feet. Now, if there's 10 feet of water there at mean low water, you should be able to get in there. If the chains are extended and off the bottom, wouldn't be able to. He'd probably hit them.
Mm-hmm.
This says 11,
And maybe somebody may not even know they're there,
isn't that?
so.
That's from, yeah. No, it's from,
There might be a
That's
better
the elevation
detailed
of the
description
Yeah.
in
So if it's a 7-foot draft, then it would
and
fit
that's
in
just
there.
the way that it's drawn here.
I do think, though, it's important to clarify so that when it gets installed, we can go back and say, well, this is how it was permitted to be installed, and it was installed correctly, so.
Since we don't have anything in the ordinance that specifically addresses that, I'll make a motion, or Dan can make a motion, anyone can make a motion, and we'll just have to make sure that whatever condition that is, it's easy to understand and easy to confirm.
Yeah.
So,
I think given that Flycatcher is a client of the towns, that they'll probably, that they'll probably make sure that it's done correctly.
Yeah, we'll make sure.
Did you write up the motion?
Mike Danner again, Potts Point. I didn't see on the drawing what the mean low water is there. But that would tell the story But as I said, if there's 10 feet of water at low tide or mean low tide,
What's on that?
anybody with a draft of 4 to 7 feet should expect to be able to go in there, so. Yeah. Thank you.
I thought
can-
it said 11.3.
It says 11.3 on the existing conditions. And also shows eelgrass, so I can really see why
Yeah, it does.
you had your question, Courtney. But it says subtitle bottom not field verified, so we need to protect everything that we have. Yeah, and it's on the eelgrass is noted also on the proposed impacts. But you don't know if that's actually accurate. Is that correct?
Well, I'm trying to remember when I submitted the DEP application, but, okay, so it was 5. So we did confirm that there was no eelgrass where, in the location of where the project will land, and the structures. There was just patches here and there. So I think what the existing conditions, maybe you're seeing, it could be the GIS layer from the state that showed, but maybe it could have been that we just hadn't gone out in the field at that point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the proposed impacts, and it says eelgrass, but as you know, the subtitle bottom not field verified, so, okay. All right, so when we review this, we look for conformance with both community dock standards and conformance with Piers docks and wharf standards in the Harpswell zoning ordinance. Those are 15.23 and 15.3 in their entirety, 1 through 7 for 15.23, and in 15.3, it's 1 through, I think it's 11.
It just
yeah.
occurred to me that it's missing something.
Yeah, I kind of drafted it myself.
Good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The motion to adopt the findings of fact.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I asked.
So silly,
I asked you
just when you
about
think
that,
you've
did
done
I
it
not?
all.
Yeah, I asked you about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, when we first got here, but that's okay. No, no worries.
you get to make your own tonight.
I get to make my own.
I have-
Okay,
He wrote 'em down
excellent, my friend. Would you like to?
Are you
Would
ready?
you like to make a motion? Did anybody else have any comments or questions? All right,
Okay.
ready for a motion?
I move that the planning board adopt the findings of fact pertaining to ordinance sections 15.23 and 15.3 as prepared by the town planner dated October 17, 2025, and incorporated into this motion by reference.
I'll second that. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Nope.
No,
Oh,
no.
wait.
The doable.
Right, that's why I was pointing at you. You go first.
Courtney Snelling's aye.
Lori Rice, aye.
Amy Hybel, aye.
Dan Hoback, aye.
Christine Donovan Hall, aye.
Thank you very much. All right. In light of the findings of fact, with consideration given to the supporting documents in the record, I move that the planning board reaches the following conclusions. The board finds the applicant, which is the town of Harpswell, has met the standards of the town of Harpswell shoreline zoning ordinance. The planning board approves the application for replacement and expansion of the storm-damaged community wharf at 0 Harpswell Neck Road, map 19, lot 17, with the following standard conditions of approval. One, I hate reading these, but I'm told that I have to do that, so. This approval is not final until such time as final plans showing all conditions of approval and any waivers granted have been signed by the chair of the planning board. This approval is based on the approved plans and on all submissions and information provided by the applicant at final approval, whether referenced in any findings or conditions of approval. Number two, this approval is dependent upon and limited to the proposal and plans contained in the application and supporting documents submitted and affirmed to by the applicant. Any variation from the plan, proposals, and supporting documents except de minimis changes as determined by the town planner that do not affect approval standards is subject to the review and approval of the planning board prior to implementation. Item 3 of 4, the applicant shall obtain all necessary state and federal approvals before the applicant commences any land use activity pursuant to this site plan approval and shall comply with the requirements of those permits and approvals. And 4, all work shall be completed in accordance with best management practices for soil erosion and sedimentation control. And 5, and please feel free to add additional language if I'm missing something. Flag catcher will further analyze the anchor chains on the proposed plans to ensure that they do not interfere with the navigation of boats docking or leaving the floats, the proposed floats and finger float.
I would just add maybe that they submit a memo with the summary of their analysis prior to approval by the select board.
And they will submit a memo to that effect prior to approval by the select board.
That way, when the select board, it goes on the select board agenda, it'll be part of the public document, and then the abutters who are interested can see the results
Good.
of the analysis.
Perfect.
Question, will you be looking at the eelgrass?
We
I
already.
mean, that does seem to be something important if they are going to be looking at. There was no field testing or whatever, but I'm assuming it could be viewed. Am I right?
There was. I believe that maybe that the conditions that you saw, that was before our survey. We completed.
Okay.
I was in a boat and we mapped everything at low tide.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good.
All right, there's a motion on the table, hasn't been seconded.
I'll second the motion. Christine
Christine
Donovan Hall.
Christine, thank you. All those in favor, beginning or not in favor, beginning with Courtney Snelling.
Courtney Snelling's aye.
Lori Rice, aye.
Amy Hybel, aye.
Dan Holbeck, aye.
Christine Donovan Hall, aye.
Motion has passed and the application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, good to go.
Thank you all for coming out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Tim, do you know if this is going to be on the select board agenda for next week? Okay. So for all the abutters interested, this will be on the select board agenda for next week.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Aye.
Ordinance amendments,
Okay.
that's on the agenda.
The other thing we got in our packet was some 2026 town meeting ordinance amendments, and we're just going to have a preliminary discussion about those. So I'll turn it over to Margaret. And, yeah.
Does anybody need a copy? I brought one extra.
No,
I will.
Okay. So I identified a couple things that I think could be improved in the ordinances in 2026. And so I reached out to the town attorney's office. Aga Dixon has helped us with ordinances in the past. So the first one is this really confusing language from the site plan review ordinance. It talks about, this section is about when a project goes to staff review committee. And originally Howard and I had a friendly banter about what the section meant, because it says, Amendments to approved site plans for structures less than 1,000 square feet shall be reviewed by staff review committee. So I read that as amendments of less than 1,000 square feet, and Howard read it as site plans for less than 1,000 square feet. So I just thought this would be a good time to clarify that before it becomes an argument,
Yeah.
before somebody tries to challenge it.
Yeah.
And the second one is, it's a result of changing the shoreline zoning ordinance around a little bit last year. I think that this is good to clarify. It is, I think, consistent with state law. So,
You're talking about the wetlands?
the wetland one.
The freshwater level.
So that's really helpful. And then the third one has to do with our high head application last year or this year that we denied, based on an advisory opinion from our attorney, Amy Chow. I think they advised not to change it in this. I still feel like it could be improved to be more clear. They're saying, Amy's already ruled on this, and so it's clear, and they don't think it needs to be cleared up, but I kind of feel like it does.
I felt like it was pretty clear the way it was explained by the attorney.
I just worry that somebody's going to
Yeah.
take it to appeals. I feel like because,
It was a pretty thorny issue, really.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, none of this stuff is ever very clear to me, honestly. I know it is for Dan and probably for you. But I think the clearer we could make it, the better, and we might have obviated
yeah.
some of that wrangling by the attorneys.
Yeah, we just got an advisory opinion from her, but I feel like, given the fact that we needed to go so far as to get an advisory opinion, like our ordinance could be clearer to the start if the goal is to minimize the number of docks and minimize the impact on the wetlands. It could be clearer that if you're, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you want to try your hand at some language that you think would suit and work with Dan on that?
Or I can just reach back out to them and say, we really think,
It needs to be
it's
clarified.
it's not as clear to the
Yeah.
public as you may think. And then the number 4 is based on a discussion that we had, the chair of the Board of Appeals, Ned Simmons, had with the administration, and it led to us reaching out to MMA Legal, and they gave us this opinion, and they basically said, you should kind of make sure your Board of Appeal language is consistent with state law, and so that is what we're trying to do there. Yeah.
Yeah, and getting back to what Margaret was saying about the third one, about the docks, the thing about an advisory opinion is that a different attorney may, even if we had a different town attorney, we could
Right.
reach a contrary decision.
Right.
So any opportunity that we can have to avoid the kind of discussion we had and the expense we went through with that,
Right.
I think makes an awful lot of sense. I'd be
Right.
happy to work with you on that after you get some
All right.
language from
Okay.
the state.
And speaking of that, the applicant did provide an advisory opinion from an attorney, and it was the
Exactly.
opposite advice, so.
Surprise.
It depends
And-
on who you're working for.
Yeah, and my opinion didn't necessarily match that of the town attorney either, for what that's worth. So,
And neither did Matt James, who
that's true.
was the town planner when this whole thing started.
Yeah.
He also disagreed with
so, you
Amy
know,
Chow's
so
opinion.
this is a prime opportunity to really clarify it.
Right.
And we
Because
can, we'll then point to something when people come in before they
Yeah.
make an app.
Right.
When you're thinking of making an application for a dock, we can say, here it is, here is why, You shouldn't bother wasting your time doing it.
We have an existing application from Flycatcher for another dock in High Head.
Oh, my.
And I said, just so you know, there's this advisory opinion, we have previously denied one. And so they put that project on hold, but it hasn't been withdrawn. So it's kind
gonna
of
come up
looming
again.
there. It's gonna come up again,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and
Yeah.
they don't seem to think so.
And it
Well,
doesn't help that
that's-
High Head already has some existing
Yes.
ones that went through that
Exactly.
kind of makes it more
Exactly.
complicated.
Yeah.
Just like Johnson Point.
Yes, exactly like Johnson
Yeah.
Point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
they just
you
need to
know-
be advised if they have a community dock, hey, you need to know that you might not be able to have your own dock, because isn't it usually deeded in that you are supposed to be sharing the community dock
Right.
and not necessarily building your own?
For instance, there's a lot for sale on Bayview Road, part of that 3-lot subdivision we did a
Yep.
year or two ago.
Yeah.
And in the listing, it says, use this community access or build your own private dock. I mean, it says it right in the
Oh.
listing.
Oh.
That's
And
bad.
any of us could look at that and say, well, you can't have that, it wasn't approved in the subdivision plan. Wow.
That blows my mind.
Doesn't blow my mind.
No, I,
No,
Okay.
because they're trying to up whatever they, price they
Right.
can get, and they're like, oh, you could have your own. Wouldn't that be nice? And
Well,
add
that's
value?
false advertising.
Yeah.
right.
But a lot of the things
Literally,
you don't know
false
until you
advertising.
apply, and then
Yeah.
you really learn what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want me to, I can draft up some ordinances. I'll put this language in the ordinance, and then we can work on it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
May
think
I?
that's a great
No, I
idea.
think it's very worth it.
Okay. May I ask a question about 16.5, the minor amendments?
So, which one?
The 60,
Oh,
the
yep.
minor amendments on page 1. So essentially, this would be an amendment to an approved site plan that would allow for construction of a 100-foot by 100-foot addition to,
Yeah, I read that too.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. My house is 1,500 square feet. I thought, oh my gosh, almost my entire house. I couldn't possibly fit that on my
Yeah,
land.
that's a lot. Do we really allow that? 'Cause
Up to
that's-
1,000 square feet, yeah. Yeah.
It would if the land allows it to be there? And it's a-
Yeah, and it has to be part of an approved site plan, so it's already gone through the process of the planning board. It's already gotten the planning board stamp of approval, and then they come back and say, like Andrew Donnelly did, we want to amend something. Then it doesn't have to go through the full board process.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can change the
Yeah,
1,000.
I mean, that's an amendment,
Yeah.
like, of maybe 150 square feet or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,000 square feet is like, well, I'd actually like to add a new house or an accessory dwelling unit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I realize we do allow accessory dwelling units, but
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Except this is all non-residential. What we're talking about would be, all
It's
this is.
commercial? What is
Yeah,
it?
well, if it's site plan review, then it's just commercial.
Oh,
Well, it's the
So-
size of a house
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
It's the size of that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of impervious
actually, an
surface.
accessory dwelling can only be 750,
But then you,
right?
that still doesn't obviate the percentage of lot coverage
right,
and
yeah.
impervious
Yeah, it
surfaces.
Those
doesn't.
come into
No,
play
it
too.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And then, staff review committee does allow for, like, at the Harpswell Corner Market, if you feel like it's something that's gonna substantially change the site plan, then the staff review committee does have the ability to bounce it back to the full board.
Yeah.
All right, I was just a
Yeah,
question
I mean,
that
it could always,
I
anything
read
can be
the same
changed.
thing and I thought, oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
lot, yeah,
But there's other checks and balances in place.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to say on page, I guess it's page 3, which is dealing with wetlands. I like the clarity, the maximum
Okay,
Me
clarity
too.
Yeah.
I
language.
circled the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I like how it starts out, fresh wetlands is this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that.
All right, I'll put
No.
it in.
Yeah.
That was good work.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Any-
We were going to talk about the bylaws. We can do it, we can kick it down the road if you guys want.
We have a workshop coming up, can we do it then?
Let's do it then.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Any announcements? No? Nobody's getting married, divorced, everything is all good?
Today was the application deadline for the November meeting. I was gone in the afternoon, so unless something came in I don't know about, we have 2 things we've already seen coming back, which is Andrew Ziegler at Estes, the former Estes Lobster House, is coming back for an amendment. And based on feedback that we got from the peer review. Because we did the peer review, and then we said, come back, you have to come back
Okay.
if there's any changes. So he's
Yeah.
going to come back just to make it part of the public process.
Okay,
And not that, I think he would do what is recommended either way, but this way it's part of the process. And then the Merriman subdivision that we kind of had on the agenda for a couple weeks.
Right?
Couple months. They've provided an attorney's opinion, which I then provided to our attorney to get their opinion. So, well, I haven't gotten that advisory opinion from our attorney yet, but I have asked for it, so. Yeah, we'll get it to you when I get it.
okay,
I have just one thing.
please.
Because, and it came to mind when you were talking about having to read those extensive conclusions of law. I think those can be tightened up a little bit. And so I'd be happy to work with Margaret on that, because some of it is a little bit on the redundant side, so.
There is a God. Thank you.
If you want a designated reader, however, I would be happy to read them.
Okay,
Because you have so much you have to say, and all those
Yeah.
complicated,
thank you.
you know,
Thank you for that.
things. If you want to, like,
Yeah.
Courtney
Yeah.
will read all of that stuff.
Thank
Courtney,
you.
you can be the translator and see if
Oh,
Okay.
no translation, I will read. I may go like this.
Well, I'm happy to work, I'm happy to
Yeah.
work with you on it.
Thank you.
Whatever makes things easier for us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay,
Yeah, I don't want to make the motions, but-
this meeting is adjourned.